Where did you come from? The first human, where did they come from? Again, I told you now, if you're a Christian and a Muslim, you believe the biblical version. God created Adam, clay, breathed into him, then the man became human. No problem. Then created Eve from Adam. Fine. Cool story. Wonderful news. Now the question is, where did that come from? Apart from Adam and Eve. Okay, you can say they, did that thing, then they gave birth to 2 children or 3. Cain and Abel, I remember. Can you remember? Yes. Then later, those ones gave birth to some people. Am I wrong? Where did they get their wife? Why is it wrong? Evolution is wonderful. That is why we are not trying to question that or the origin of where did we come from? Where exactly did they come from? From heaven. Again, I'll repeat it again. If you are Christians and Muslims or religious, you believe that story about. But there are atheists now. People that don't believe in God or any religion. You can't tell them this is where we came. So where did you come from? That question is important. Very, very important. If you don't know where you're coming from, you can't know where you are going to. So you must know your origin for you to know. Based on what you call natural selection. Natural selection. But that does not answer where you came from. Now, the Big Bang Theory, I've established that. Big Bang Theory, planet Earth, chemicals. 2 chemicals, they came together. That was your origin. Chemicals came together. Deep within the water, within the vents of the earth now. What you call microorganism, yes, it is shocking. What you call microorganism, and it's a funny story actually. The one chemical came together with the other, amino acid and the rest of, they came together, then they formed something. The first one was what you call eukaryote, were the first single cell organism. Then after one day, eukaryote, that was the first one, single cell organism. Then prokaryote, that one is multi-celled. The single cell organism divided and became that thing. So they married. It became multi-cell. Very tiny, very, very tiny. Eventually becomes that thing you call amoeba. Those tiny things that you can see with the microscope. And you keep having cell multiplication. Then from that, now you get that thing you call tadpole. Can you remember tadpole? Yes. The tadpole, then you get frog. Then from frog now, you get fish. Remember, a small fish is always like a tadpole. If you check them. Then, you still keep having that cell division. Cell division until, shockingly, fishes used to walk on land. If you check them properly now, it's like they have limbs. Then since they were no longer using it now, confirm what I've said. When you go to do ultrasound for a baby in the womb, look at the early developmental stages of a baby in the womb. You will see that thing. It goes through the evolutionary process. Tadpole, fish, then that tail like a rat, then the thing shrinks, go inside. Before even in the womb, you don't look like a child at all. You look like an amoeba. Then later like a frog or a tadpole. Then a fish. Then finally something with a tail like a monkey. Then suddenly cell division. Then you shrink. You started having your human features. Process. That is why I said it's not adaptation. What I'm saying takes millions of years before you arrive at being human. And when you arrive at this, not even modern human, there are different kind of humans. We'll get to that later. Before you became Homo sapiens, that's the one we are now. They've had other Homo sapiens. There's the one that can walk, the one they call Homo erectus, to be able to stand. So we pass through different stages, evolutionary stages. In fact, our ancestors, that was why we were almost like monkey. We were not created to live on land. We were created to live on trees. That's why I said in the last class, you have what they call a vestigial organ. The back, there's that tail that is no longer useful. You use the tail to hold on to the tree, then you can use your hand to gather whatever you want to eat. But since we are now, we've evolved beyond that, that thing is no longer useful. Appendix, when you have it, what did they tell you? They cut it away. You forgot it? And they said it's no longer useful. But it was then, during the evolutionary stage. Actually, human origin is interesting. Now, it will shock you. Under biology, there are 2 chromosomes. Can you remember? X and Y. Those are the 2 chromosomes. One is for male, the other one is for female. Can you still remember at all? Yes. All humans emerged as a female. All humans. You that you are a male, you emerged as a female. It is during the cell, that is why you have nipple. as a guy. It is during the cell division that the chromosome for male will come in and it separates. All humans start their journey as a male, as a female. That explains that nipple in a guy. It is during cell division, and then the chromosome will now change. That one will now become a male, and the other one a female. So your nipple is as a result of your evolutionary growth, though it serves no function. Simple. So your nipple is as a result. That's for guys. For the female, it serves a function. You wean the young, you feed the young. But guys they don't have that function. They don't do that thing with that thing. So to them, basically, that stuff is useless. So it shows our evolution. That's just the point. And that was why I said from the beginning that evolution takes millions of years, not adaptation. You can adapt to not eating meat. You can adapt to not eating meat. Sorry, let me shock you. You were never created to eat meat now. But thank God for fire. Fire, when it was invented, saved you that stress of eating meat raw. You were never created to be. In fact, your taste bud, you have a taste, an acquired taste. You were never meant to be eating meat at all. At all. You were never meant to be drinking milk. That is why you react to milk most times. Humans now are not meant to be taking milk. That's why you keep hearing lactose intolerant. But you adapt to that thing. Because the study of human is called anthropology. The study of human being is called anthropology. The study of human being is called, now the study of human evolution is called paleoanthropology, which is what we are doing. The study of human is called anthropology. Human and what you do in your environment. It's called anthropology. Why do you behave the way you do? Why do you do the things you do and so on? It's called anthropology. But the study of the evolution of mankind, where we came from, how you emerged, how you have been developing, is called paleoanthropology. P-A-L-E-O. Paleoanthropology. The study of evolution of mankind is called paleoanthropology. The study of human generally is called anthropology. You get them in sociology. Sociology is study of man and his environment. So study of human, you as a human being, is anthropology. The study of your evolution. Study of your evolution from the beginning, through the ages, through the years, is called the paleo life. There's what they call tree, or everything that lives, that breathes, is connected to that tree of life. There's what they call tree of life in human evolution. So we are part of the branches of the tree of life. So everything from now is connected to the beginning of that tree of life. The tree explains human evolution from the beginning of time till now, which is what we are studying. Now, the science that studies evolution is called the paleoanthropology. Now, anthropology itself, if it stands alone, means study of humans. Study of humans, just humans, not animal, just humans. What you do, how we do things, what you drink, where you go to. That is called anthropology. Now, that is for the present. But then when you want to talk about the past, the beginning of time, where did we emerge from? Then you now have paleoanthropology, which is what you call evolution of man, where you were coming from. Now, to understand that thing, they made it easier by creating a table. That table is now called the tree of life, T-O-L. A tree of life. So at the base of that tree, you have all those organisms I've mentioned, those tiny things that started human life. So on top of them, you have what they call the tetrapods. Tetrapods are those things that have at their back, maybe scale. A good example, but not really, is where you just think of prawn and shrimp. But say tree of life, at the base, you have that thing, then followed by what I've just explained now, tetrapods. Apart from that, you now have the vertebrates. Then gradually, as you are going on, you get to the primates. So when you get to the primate, yes, you have mammals, you get to the primate, then when you get to the primate, you now have subdivisions. Man is a primate, then you get the gorilla, you get chimpanzee, and that's why they call it tree of life. At the base, you have those microorganisms that started life. So those things evolve. They evolve from that little thing. If not for the fact that they've told us through science, you never believe that the egg you eat eventually becomes a chicken or a chick. The egg now, remember, is when you exactly, that thing you boil it, you eat it, you fry it. When you are frying it, it won't turn to a chicken now. Exactly. Evolution explains that it is that thing that becomes a interesting question. Which came first, chicken or egg? Now, if you say it's the chicken, if your argument is that it is the chicken, the question is, where did it come from? And if your argument is the egg, where did the egg come from? What we are living in was created 9 a.m. in 4004 BC. 9 a.m. No, according to Creationism, that God created the world 4004 BC, 24 October by 9 a.m. in the morning. That was when the world was actually created. That was the day that God created the world. Evolutionists will tell you no, that nobody can know that date. Like I told you there now, the world was created through the Big Bang theory. Explosion somewhere in space of gases coming together. Billions of years, very intense heat, then it cooled down. When it cooled down, evaporation, water settled. When it settled down, that tiny organism I was talking about now came up. And that started the tree of life that I was referring to. So evolution has gone from one stage to the other, before eventually we emerge as humans. And to confirm that thing, they said we have some organs in our body that are basically useless. Now, then when evolution has taken place, adaptation can now occur to suit your environment. So when evolution has now taken place, adaptation can now occur to suit your environment. Yes, we are dark-skinned, and thank God for that. Your dark skin shield you from the harmful ray of the sun. That's why you are dark-skinned. They have snow a lot in the west, and that's why they are light-skinned. You are not getting logic now. I said adaptation can occur after evolution. They are two different things entirely. They are not the same. Evolution takes billions of years. Adaptation can take within 2-3 days. It depends on how you can do that thing. So it's you that you are doing that. But then evolution is natural selection. It is nature doing its business for your survival or for your demise, any of the two. So it is nature doing its business for your survival, and it's just that's just simple. That incest is not a crime. No, incest is not a crime. But incest can destroy a generation. Incest is not. No, that is not. It's not because of religion. That's why they frown at incest. No, if you have a disease in your family and you're not marrying your brother or your sister, you replicate that disease, so your family will die faster. If you have SS and you're marrying your brother that's also SS now, it's the same SS gene you are passing around. So if you have a sickness or an infection in your family and you're marrying your brother who also has that thing, you die off faster, quickly. Compared to if you have SS, then you now marry outside the family. So somebody with AA, that means you are building that gene. You are building that family. You get the logic? Yes. That is why they go against incest. Because it affects your genetic material. I mean, you won't have that immunity. Mosquito is bad, but it does something to your body. It builds your immunity. Yes. Mosquito builds your immunity. And that's why they advise you, butter. No, allow your child to play with sand. Because it needs some bacteria, some beneficial bacteria in the body. Compared to if that person has not taken that thing. That's why once you've had smallpox once, you are okay forever. Or once you've had chicken pox once, you are okay forever. That's why malaria hardly ever kills us, because they've never been exposed to that thing. Evolution is funny. And adaptation is also funny. We came through the same means. Listen, we came through the same means, but we have different environment to adapt to. So the white man, when they came to Africa, then they called Africa for the white man, a white man's death, white man's grief. All it takes is just a bite of the mosquito. You go master, 10 can bite you, you're not feeling anything. All it takes is just one bite. And because your body is used to that thing, you are immune from fat on you with that thing called adaptation. So to quickly recap, anthropology, study of man, paleoanthropology, the exact evolution of man, which is what we are studying. We are going to be coming across that a lot. in the class. So, true evolutionist, not creationist, man came from that tiny, tiny microorganism billions of years ago. So, through the ages, went through the different mammals, primates, then before becoming, then again, there is what we call the tree of life. The tree of life actually shows the map of human development, where we actually came from. You know why evolutionists don't believe in creationism? They always say, who was there when God created it? Who has the evidence? Exactly. But science, they can replicate their own in a laboratory, that this is how life came into being. And they've studied the womb. So they said, no, forget about one man creating clay and breathing into it. Remember now, that is evolutionism. But believe, Christians, God created human in his own image. Simple. But they will counter with, no, were you there? Where was the location? Which clay? Has he stopped breathing into people? Exactly. Even if it is true now, why do you now die? Is the birth meant to expire? Now that is not true. Evolutionist. Evolutionists will now say, no, remember I told you in the last class, I said induction and deduction. Based on what we can see, this is based on what we can see, this is how we emerged. Creationism, we were not there. Nobody could see it. Nobody documented. There was no film. So how are we supposed to believe in that story?